students. I hope you all must have revised your chapter 1 and completed the written work of 2 chapters in your assisted notebook. So today we are going to start with our third chapter, that is movements of the earth. In this chapter, solstice and equinox, a new topic we are going to cover. So for today I have selected the two movements of the earth, that is rotation and revolution. Now, children, we all know that Earth is tilted and spins on an imaginary line, and this imaginary line is known as the axis. This axis passes from the North Pole to the South Pole of the Earth, and we all know that Earth rotates from west to east. This is the west direction, and this is the east direction. Because our Earth rotates from west to east, that is why Sun appears to rise from the east. And we also know that Earth is tilted on its axis at an angle of 66 and half degree. Okay, so these are the things about which we are already aware. Now, coming to the movements of the Earth, that is rotation and revolution, the two movements of the Earth, rotation and revolution. Okay, now here comes a question in your book. So, which is an imaginary line on which our Earth spins? Yes, that is the axis. Okay, now rotation. This is the rotation. Now, children, we know that because of the rotation of the Earth, our days and nights are formed. While Earth rotates on its axis, spins on its axis, the part of the Earth which faces the Sun has day, and the part which is away from the Sun is having night. Okay, so as the Earth rotates from west to east, so we all know that Sun seems to rise from the east. That is why the places which are situated in the eastern side, they are exposed to the sun first. That means like our India. India is in the eastern side of the world, so we receive sunlight earlier than the countries which are situated on the western part of the globe. Okay, now the next movement of the earth is revolution. Revolution is the movement in which earth rotates around the sun. Earth rotates around the sun. That is known as the revolution. And you all know that earth rotates on a fixed path. This fixed path is known as orbit. And all the planets which revolve around the sun, they all revolve around the sun in a fixed path. That means all the planets are having their own orbits. Now we already know that Earth completes one circle, one revolution around the sun in 365, 1 and 4 days. But we are having only 365 days on our calendar. And here we are getting that Earth takes 1 by half day more. So what happens to 1 by half day? 1 by 4 day. Earth takes 365 1 by 4 days, but on our calendar we are having only 365 days. So what happened to the 1 by 4th day? And 1 by 4th day is equal to 6 hours. That means total number of hours in a day are 24. And if we divide 24 by 4, we will get 6 hours. So here comes our leap year. Now the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution is 365 days and 6 hours. 6 hours means 1 by 4. Okay, so we take 6 hours of consecutive 4 years, that means first, second, third and fourth year, and when we add these 6, 4 times 6, we get one more day. So this one more day is added in the month of the February, and that particular year is known as leap year with total number of days as 366 days. So this is the concept behind the formation of the leap year. Okay, now we all know that all other planets, as just now I told you, that all other planets of the solar system, they all revolve around the sun and they are having their own orbits. That is why there is no collision between two planets which revolve around the sun. Okay, and like the moon takes 27 days to complete one revolution around the earth. So all the planets are having their own time which they take to complete one revolution around the sun. Now, what happens because of the revolution? We know that because of the revolution of the earth, seasons are formed, that we already know. Yes, seasons are formed, and the main seasons are four seasons. The first one is summer, that means presently we are having the summer season. Winter season, normally it starts from October until Jan. Then we are having the spring season. Spring season is a season which falls between winter and summer. That means the months of February and March, which we have already covered. So month of February and March we are having the spring season. Okay, and the fourth season is the autumn season, and autumn season is again between summer and winter. Children, remember here, spring is the time between winter and summer. That means when winter ends and summer is going to start, that means the month of February and March. But autumn is the time between summer and winter, that means when summer is going to end and winter is going to start, that means the month of September and October. And this is the time when days start becoming shorter and nights starts becoming longer. Now we already know that the equator is the longest parallel. It divides the earth into two hemispheres, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere is the area of the earth between equator and north pole, and southern hemisphere is the part of the earth between south pole and equator. Okay, so now we will study our seasons, four seasons: summer, winter, spring and autumn, and how these seasons are formed. So our next topic will be solstice and equinox. But children, I won't cover this topic today. For today only this is, and I am sending you the answers for the previous worksheet of chapter 1. Okay, bye.